I have a friend on the yellow couch today. Sunny, want to say hi? Say hi. Hi, Sunny. Hi, Chunny Bunny. Say hi. You not saying hi? Yay. All right, come on in, come on in. Hi, Enza, how are you? Come on in, guys, to the yellow couch today. So what do you call it? Filming here, but I'm checking comments here because we're gonna interact today. Oh, we have a friend on the couch today, none other than Miss Sunny. Miss Sunny's on the yellow couch today. Say hi. Say hi, Sunny. Good. Good to see you, Enza. Good to see you. Yes. Guys, I want you to come in and say something, and I want you to share too as well. I want you to share. Come in and say something. So today I'm just gonna chat today. We're just gonna to spend some time together, like 10-15 minutes, and talk today. I hope some of you guys tried that recipe that I did last week. And if you did, I want to know how was it. Okay. All right, so let me get my other thing on. All right, so yes. Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah? Joseph forgets Sunny. All right, so today we're just gonna chat. We're just gonna chat today. And you come in, you drop a comment, a like, or whatever, and just share. Okay? So today I want to talk about why am I doing this yellow couch? Every week, I felt like, you're running from some people say calling, or your gifting, or something that you believe that you should be doing, whether it's to help yourself heal and grow or to help others, But I always find that when you're helping others at the same time, you are healing and growing at the same time. So that's a good thing. We're all intertwined. We're all connected. We, each joint supply. We all, need each other. And so I felt like, I was running from my calling. I felt like, hey, I don't know if I could do this. I needed validation, for somebody to say, yeah, girl, you could do it. Girl, you're waiting for that little, persuasive and make you feel, like this is what you should do or you shouldn't do, or I couldn't make a decision. But thank God, not anymore. I just know. I just know that this is my flow, and whatever it is that God allowed me to be used, as his vessel to communicate and talk, or to bring light to, or to shed light on. I always say my experience is my platform, and I remember when I used to talk about my experience, I'm always on the victim mentality type side. But and one thing too, I always felt like the people that I need to talk to, or the people that I need to share with. What did you say? Yes, girl. Can I do? What can I do? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I always felt like the people that I need to share with, or the people that I need to talk about my experience and share with, is the ones that I believe, was where I was. But I now realize, with more knowledge and more experience in listening to God and myself, that it's not necessarily where you was. You never forget where you was. Never forget where you come from. Hi, honey. Hey, Venetia. Yes, dear. Sunny is my co-host today. She was like, girl, you need another girl on the couch today. I'm like, yes. And Sunny's like, oh, I'm coming in. Save me a spot, right? Sunny's like, yeah, save me a spot. Yes. Yes. So, as I was saying, and please, I want you guys to comment and talk, because it's not just for me to come on and talk. You pull from me. You understand me? You pull from me when you ask question, and and even when I'm speaking, I'm learning myself. So as I said, I realize now that it's not necessarily where I was. You never forget where you come from. They said, don't burn your bridges. Don't forget where you come from. But the people who you now speak to, or now attract or communicate to, or you're connecting to, is the people on the level that you're on. So sometimes, Jeff always said to me, Stephanie, who's your audience? Who are you talking to? And I always felt like I was talking to my past self. Well, this is how I used to think, not realizing that, no, as you grow, it says, show me your friends, tell me who you are. What the level of growth or maturity that you're at, that's the people that will connect to you. That's the people that you will attract. And that's why we're having this every weekend, every Monday, is to build a community of people that I believe is evolving. Yes, because I have evolved. Growing, maturing, wanting something different, learning from my past, trying to be better and not bitter, letting go, and allow God to let his love and joy and flow through me. So I believe that that's the people that are connected to me. That's the people that are attracted to me. That's the people that are identifying and say, girl, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I used to think like that. Yes, I was there like that, So you got to know your audience. You got to know your niche. You got to know who you're talking to. But, I love the fact that we could build a community where sisters, we could come together and just talk and help each other to build, grow, and shine. Yes, Venetia, we're building and we're growing and we're shining together, and we're on the same frequency. We're on the same frequency. So I wrote some stuff down that I wanted to just touch based on. And I said I always had the victim mentality based off of my past. And when I said that, now I know that it's not like, okay. So I've heard a lot of women conversation. I've spoken to a lot of women, and I've identified with some of them, and as well as I could from the person who was evolved and looking in from the outside, I could see where I was. And sometimes they say when you're in something, you can't really see the totality of it until you come out of it. And when you're in it, you're always thinking as yourself as a victim. And you're always thinking that you're helpless. And this is, poor me, or something external caused this situation to happen. And this is what happened, so that's why I'm here, and it's because of this person, or it's because of the environment, or it's because of the people, or the friend, or whatever it is that we use. And sometimes it is, especially that's when I believe when your innocency has been taken, when you're growing up as a child. Like, Harmony has no choice but to live here. She's growing in our home, but we are creating this nest, and she is a product of me and Jeff. So whatever bad, good, ugly, or whatever we spew or whatever, she has no choice. So she can say, I'm a product. I wouldn't say a victim. I'm a product of my environment. But when you get to a certain age, when you're no longer drinking milk and you know better, and you're like, okay, I felt like I've been going around the same cycle and going around the same circle over and over and over and over again. Or, check your patterns. The thing is, I was outside talking to myself today, and I was like, hey, I felt like I kind of raised myself in a way. Not like, I love you, Mom, not like my mom wasn't there or anything, but sometimes as a kid, you tell yourself some things in your mind, and all when you're 25, that 10-year-old girl still in there talking, and that 10-year-old girl still telling you, well, this is what you should do, this is how it looks, and this is what I know, and not allowing yourself to be aware. It's finding awareness and say, hey, because that's the hardest thing to let go of. It's something that you've known all your life, a way that you have lived your life, and then you have to let that go to welcome something else, and that is letting go of control. And the first thing you need to attack is self-control. The next thing is, which I believe everybody should know this, is you can't control nobody else. So that's a losing battle. So if you are feeling like, hey, I could control somebody, or you could fix it, and that's a losing battle. Okay? That's the losing battle. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. That's the winning battle. And that's wherein you're gonna have to say, hey, wow, this 10-year-old girl is trying to, make things go her way. She's 25 now, she's 26. But at that time, you don't know that's the 10-year-old girl still in there driving the car and still telling you to go. And you don't know that. You don't even want to believe that, because that's all you've known. I'm reading this book right now, and he's talking about, the author is talking about how, we have to allow ourselves, in rooms and arenas with people who have experienced certain things in life, and to learn from them, and understanding that sometimes we have to let go of the old man. And that's what the Bible talk about. It's, you're a new creature. There's the old man and the new man, and the new man is in Christ. So if you want to go biblical, it's in Christ. The new man is the clean slate. The new man is God's way or Christ's way. The old man is your way. The old man is your way. And the new way is Christ's way. And Christ's way is not as easy as it sounds. Because letting go is actually what letting go really mean is dying at his feet day after day. And I used to say that, but I never actually what I mean. Dying is letting go of your way. Things got to go your way for it to work. You know the outcome. Well, if this just happened this way, this is how it's going to happen. So, okay, I guess I'm going into that too much. I need to let that go. But, you get the drift of what I'm trying to say, right? You get the drift of what I'm trying to say. Letting go of control, understanding that each and every one of us, I think it's all women that are watching, have a little girl inside of us. And that little girl, sometimes that little girl have not matured yet. But we're big. We're grown. We're grown. We're grown. We're at the age. I start having some gray hair already. I'm like looking in the mirror like, wow, damn, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm like, gray hair. I still feel like I'm 25. What's going on? But, there's still a little girl inside, and that little girl needs to be healed. And I shed this light on this before, is the story of, in the Bible, about the woman with the issue of blood and the 12-year-old girl, Jairus' daughter. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but with Jairus' daughter, Jairus had a daughter, and she was 12 years old, and she was home dead. And Jesus was out teaching, and while he was out teaching in the marketplace or wherever he was, this woman, you always heard about the woman with the issue of blood. That's us, women. We have issues. We have a lot of issues. And bleeding, when we're bleeding sometimes, and sometimes I don't mean the natural bleeding. Sometimes I mean we're in survival mode. We're trying to make it in life. We're trying to make this work. You know, it's a rob Peter to pay Paul. We're putting this here. We're trying to make this happen. We're sending the kids to school. We're trying, you know, we're women, man. We bleed, and we bleed. You know, we roll them shoulders up and we work and we bleed. And this woman had an issue, and that issue, she went to every doctor and she tried everything and nothing worked. And you were exhausted, you know, and she went up, she said to herself, and this is the main part of the story that I want everybody to understand, that what she said to herself. She said to herself, listen, she never said Stephanie said it. She never said somebody preach it or teach it. She said to herself, because it's when you start to believe it yourself, that's when the healing gonna start to come. That's when wholeness is gonna start to show up. Because trust me, sometimes we're in relationship. This is not about wife or husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or you know, friends or work relationship. Just we're people living in this world. You know, and sometimes I used to think, you know, people tell you about their issues and you're like, damn, wow, I'm not going through that, but that's this. And everybody got something. Everybody got something going on. But I realized that everything that we got going on is to scrub something in us. It's to rub something in us. It's to develop something in us. It's to grow us. It's to evolve us. It's so that, you know, so I say every challenges are opportunities to grow. So this woman had an issue, and she said to herself, if I could only touch the hem of his garment, I will be made whole. Nobody told her that. Jesus didn't even come and told her that. She said to herself, if I could only touch the hem of his garment, I will be made whole. And when she went up, because it was forbidden, and let me say another thing, it was forbidden for a woman who was bleeding to touch a man, and even not only a man, the Messiah. Oh, come on now. She broke every rules. She broke every rules. And that's another point that I need to be making right now. Sometimes you got to break some rules. And when I said break some rules, I don't mean break the law. Nobody go break the law. No, I never said to go break the law. I said break the rules. And when I say the rules, some imaginary rules that we placed in our minds, some traditions, some religious things, some things that, well, this mama did this, so I'ma do this. Well, this, I see this girl doing it this way. Well, this family look like that, so this is what it should look. No. We're unique. We're all different. Sometimes you got to break some rules. You got to do things differently. You don't have to put the show, you know, keep up with the Joneses and all that. You guys like my hair? I'm trying something new. Yes. Sometimes you got to break the rules. Sometimes you got to break the rules. And she did. She broke the rules, and she pressed past all the people and to go touch Jesus. And when she touched Jesus, Jesus said, who touched me? And people are like, hey, there's so much people around us. What do you mean who touched you? Look how much people around you. And he's like, no, man, somebody touched me, because virtue left out of me. And sometimes we got to do some things that touches God. Touches. You gotta put them shoes on, and you just gotta do some things. Hey, Venetia, you're one of those sisters on here that do some things that change your life. You gotta make some big moves that shake up your surrounding, right? But people look at you and say, wow, something's going on there. You gotta make some moves, right? Sometimes you got to do that. But the correlation of the story for the woman with the issue of blood and the 12-year-old girl, I want you to understand that the woman with the issue of blood had that issue for 12 years. I want you to understand also that Jairus' daughter was 12 years old when she died. And I want you to know that on the way to go heal Jairus' daughter, or rise Jairus' daughter from death. Jesus got interrupted by a woman with issue. And that's what we are. We are at a place right now where I felt like we as a woman, we've come out of survival mode, and there's a movement going on with women being boss and being entrepreneur and being, conquering and taking over and standing up. And, women are coming out right now with that authority type attitude and all that. But some people might look at some woman and say, what's she doing? What's she doing? She's lazy. She's not motivated. No, it's not that. We're just exhausted. We're exhausted being in survival mode. We are just exhausted. And we're like, God, okay, what about women? We have some gifts in us that the world have not seen yet. We know how to hold a home down. Some positions is being opened up for women. And those gifting in us as women to come together and build and produce something that is different and to heal, our own wounds from before too. We got to do that. We got to model that too for the next generation. But the correlation that I want to make is that 12-year-old girl died. And sometimes in us as grown women, that child died. The child who used to dream, the child who used to think the impossible, the child who used to want nice things, and when I grow up, I'm going to be this. And when I grow up, I'm going to do that. And I can move the mountains, and, I'm just using Bible words, but that little child in us, you remember when you were a kid, you were running around and climbing trees? Well, I used to climb trees and pick mangoes and run in the bushes and stuff. So I used to think about that little girl, how happy I want you guys to do this right now. Picture yourself at 5 years old or 6 years old and see that little girl running around happy as hell. Don't need nobody to make her happy. She just find her own happiness within herself. And she was not filled with fear because we didn't start watching the news as much yet. Corona wasn't going around yet. So we wasn't like bugged down with a lot of fear. But think about the joy that little girl carried. And how hopeful that little girl saw the future. But that little girl died. That little girl died in a lot of us sometimes. We get to a certain age and you're like, wow, we're 40. We're 50. God, I'm going to be 60. Oh my God, that little girl, where's the dreamer? Where's the dreamer? And that's what Jesus did. Jesus went and rise up that little girl. And I believe this is the time and the season we are in where that little girl need to come back alive. Yes. When that little girl gonna start dreaming again. When that little girl gonna start smile again. When that little girl gonna start create again. The creativity gonna start coming alive. Yes. Jesus rised up that little girl. And the woman with the issue of blood, she's healed. Say, hey, you got a woman here. I got a bunch of women on the live stream going on. Put a thumbs up if I'm talking to you. If something that I said resonate with you. If you at least get a little something from this. Some of us are young. Some of us are young, are not, are still in our teens. Like Brianna, you're young. You're still young. Life's just starting for you. But that doesn't mean you can't learn from some of us. I'm not that old, but you know what I mean. So that's what this is all about. This is all about rising up that little girl inside of all of us and evolving and growing because we got stuck. We got lost. But my community is not built on going back there. My community is built on the evolution of who I am now. Because I was once lost, but now I'm found. Right? Yes. So this is about building growing and shining. So how do we build? How do we build? We're building ourselves. We're building ourselves. That's why I want you guys to share and to be, to talk, to be open, share stuff that we could talk about so we could heal from each other and we can learn from each other. Build our confidence back. We got to build our confidence again. We got to, develop ourselves in areas that we have just neglected. Like we want joy just to come back like a natural thing. I don't want to like try to sum up, sending a salmon out to sum up salmon joy. It should just come. And these are for people who have been wounded and been emotionally broken, because that's the deep, deep rooted brokenness that I believe it takes a lot of God to heal that. A lot of God to heal those deep wounded emotional brokenness. Making our dreams come back alive again. So yes, that, also we're building our families. We're building our friendship. We're building a community of women. We're building a good support system. Yes, and this is not a feminist thing, the men, they're holding us up too. They're like, hey, they are our women. They are a woman. We're lifting them up, let them shine. We're glowing, because this is the time to glow as well. This is the glowing season. We're glowing as well. And they're holding us up and saying, hey, lift your head up. Don't shine away. And I believe that's the season we're in. This is the time that we are in, and we need to catch the spirit, catch the season, and be a part of it. We are growing. How are we growing? We're maturing. And we're maturing spiritually. We're maturing mentally. We're maturing emotionally. Yes, we are. Because one of the thing I said for emotional brokenness, sometimes if a person is, I always said, for me, mental prison was one of my biggest thing. And when a person lack understanding with certain things, you only see things through a certain perspective. You don't have an open mindset. Someone said to me, sometimes you have to learn to debate things. You got to be able to debate things on both sides. I never usually see that. I always have one side, and that one side was my side. Yeah, only my side. So you can't reason with somebody whose side is always the one that believe that their side is the only side. And even in relationship, this is a very, very big biggie. You have to have an open mindset and be able to argue both sides. And when you could see both sides, it's more a rational conversation, and you have understanding. Jesus said, in all that getting, get understanding. And that comes with mental healing and learning to listen. I could talk about this because, these stuff that I'm saying is not for you guys to say, oh, the finger is pointing on you. No, the finger is pointing on me. I'm sharing you my experiences, my dirt, and how I overcame them. I'm sharing them all. Somebody will be talking to me, and I can't wait for them to I'm not even waiting for them to finish talking before I tell them, but you just don't understand, but you don't, for me to even get something in. Cleve, hey, man, sometimes listening is hard, man. I know, but that's what comes with self-discipline. That's another thing. That's another part of being mature. Maturing is self-discipline. The hardest job is not working 50 hours a week. The hardest job is not running a multi-million-dollar company. The hardest job is working on yourself. The hardest thing is self-discipline. It's like I'm going to say this. Well, maybe I should say this for myself. It's like when I look for myself from the outside, I'm like an unruly child. And when I don't get my way, a temper tantrum. And my temper tantrum is not like the 2-year-old, like, do this. My temper tantrum is, I'm going to make you feel what I'm feeling. You hurt me. You just don't know who you playing with. I will teach you a lesson. Yeah. We do it. We do it. We have, so humility's out the door because we don't know what that is. Because first of all, our defense is up. Her defense is up. And we're in protective mode because everything is coming against us. Everything was an attack for me. Everything was the devil. In the name of Jesus, devil, you're a liar. Everything was the devil for me. Everything was an attack. It was never, well, Stephanie, did you listen? Did you give the person the time to talk? Do you even understand why the person did what they did? Doesn't mean to make it right, but did you even have an understanding of what that is? No. So there's a lot of things we have to unlearn, and that's why I believe in, when the Bible talks about redeem, Jesus redeem you. If you're not used to the biblical word, you're recreating yourself. You're reprogramming your mind. You're renewed. Your best self. You're living your best life, or your best self is coming to fruition. And the old man, the old person, the one you used to be, is no longer existing. But that doesn't mean because remember now, it's not like when you had a Ford old Ford car, and then you trade it in and get a Lexus. This is the same BMW when I was born in February 15, 1983. It's the same BMW. Yes, it's just growing. It's the same BMW. It's just got a renewed mind. So the old parts, stuff, still there. Attitude, sometimes I gotta say, you gotta sit down now. You gotta let the new man take center stage. And it's hard because sometimes you'll be doing good and you're living your best life, and best self is performing. You're not taking, no negative energy, and you're just being positive, and you're letting go, and you're forgiving. You're not taking nothing personal. And then there's that one thing just came in, and you're like, and you just go down the rabbit hole again, and then you just gotta say, hey, brush it off and keep it moving. But that's all a part of self-discipline and growing, right? So we're maturing, and we want to increase. We want to increase financially because, God wants us to live in abundance. God wants us to live in abundance. There is no lack, and that's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about a lot in this community, is to change the mindset of lack, because we've conditioned ourselves to think lack. And when I say that, I mean, well, I can't afford this. Well, this is too much. Well, this is not for me. And oh my God. And I'm like, wow, it is a mindset. But and at the same time, it sounds right. It sounds like you should think like that. Like, it sounds right. But yeah, because I've conditioned myself to believe that was right. That's one of the stuff that you definitely, if you're going to ride on this train, you definitely have to unlearn. You're going to be like, I must live in abundance. I am a child of the King. I live in abundance. Out of the mouth, gonna speak some good blessing. I am rich. I am healthy. You're gonna speak those good stuff. And then till you start believing it. And that's a part of conditioning your mind and recreating yourself. So all that too. So you got to start slaying your gifting, because each of us have a gifting. We have a gifting. No matter what that gifting is, we have. If you seem to cook, you could cook. Whatever it is, you have a gifting. And you got to let that gifting come alive, and then you got to slay that. Okay? And then... you could start a group, inspire people, talk to somebody, one person, even one person at work, whoever it is. Inspire somebody, talk. That's what I'm doing right now. That is what I'm doing right now with the yellow couch. And then you're going to shine. Put smiles on your face, and especially in our world right now with Corona and every time pure negativity and oh my God, it's like doomsday. The world's coming to an end, and not to put like there's no urgency and no seriousness to things, but it's like we're sucking the life. We're sucking the life out of us. Nobody wants to go anywhere no more. But at the same time, I understand that the world is shifting. Everything is shifting. Whether it's Corona or not, it's shifting. And we have to change with it. We have to adapt, and we have to assess, adapt, and advance. Assess, adapt, and advance. And I've assessed. I assess. Sunny's sleeping. Sunny. You're supposed to be talking. You have to assess, adapt, and advance, because the system is shifting. Everything's going to be online, and things are changing, and we have to change with it. So we have to, I'm pushing myself to learn stuff that I don't like doing, but I have to, so. How long we've been on here? I think we've been on here for quite a while right now, right? Right. So I'm not going to stay long today. As I said, today is I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to chat with you guys, build a community and just shed light on why we're doing this and how has this been an inspiration to you, and why do you want to look forward to this? I feel like the right person or the right people will connect to me, and the right people will be attracted to my energy, because it's the same energy I'm giving up, because we're all connected. And I know that whatever I am saying, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, and it's for a purpose. And I just want to I just want to position myself in the right place for God to use me. So that's why I'm doing this. And I started some stuff this week. I'm just going to talk about this and then I'm leaving. It's called Inspirations, and it's to inspire you ladies, every day in my posts, just to inspire ladies, because we're evolving, we're growing, and we're shining, because we are worth it. We are daughters of the Most High, and God light is shining through us, and we have to demonstrate that and express that in our own way. So you have Miss Steffi here with the yellow couch. Thank you guys for joining me today. It was a pleasure having all of you guys. Have a blessed week. I love you guys. Don't forget to share. Oh, before I forgot, I cannot finish and not talk about my book. I have to talk about my book. This year is a great accomplishment for me. It's just the beginning. It's not the end, but it's just the beginning. And go check it out. It's on Amazon.com. Evolve by Stephanie Harrington. And if you notice, evolve backwards is spelled love. So it's me evolving to love and loving myself and loving God and loving the people around me. Because sometimes, trust me, we're beaten down in a lot of worry and pain, and we're so numb that we don't even know that we are. And I was like emotionally broken, so it takes a mighty hand of God. So go check my book out if you've not gotten my book before. Start a book club. If buy it for a lady, for your mother, somebody, a friend. Don't forget to share. Okay, guys, have a wonderful night.